Michelangelo Buonarroti, 1475–1564, was an Italian Renaissance artist, sculptor, painter, architect, and poet whose work has left an indelible mark on Western art and culture. Widely regarded as one of the greatest artists of all time, his genius extended across multiple disciplines, creating masterpieces that continue to inspire. Michelangelo was born on March 6, 1475, in Caprese, a small village near Arezzo, Italy. He was the second of 5 sons born to Ludovico di Leonardo Buonarroti Simoni, a minor government official, and Francesca Neri. Michelangelo showed an early aptitude for art and was apprenticed at age 13 to Domenico Ghirlandaio, a prominent painter in Florence. He later studied sculpture in the garden of Lorenzo de' Medici, the ruler of Florence, where he was exposed to classical art and philosophy. Michelangelo lived a largely solitary life, devoted to his work. Known for his intense personality, he was deeply religious and wrestled with spiritual and existential themes in his art. Despite his fame, he was often dissatisfied with his creations, considering them imperfect. Michelangelo died on February 18, 1564, in Rome, at the age of 88. His body was returned to Florence, where he was interred in the Basilica of Santa Croce. Despite being renowned for paintings like the Sistine Chapel ceiling, Michelangelo viewed himself primarily as a sculptor. He once said, "I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free." Michelangelo initially resisted the commission to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling, 1508–1512, as he preferred sculpting. However, the result was one of the most celebrated works in art history, featuring over 300 figures and iconic scenes like the creation of Adam. Known for his temper and stubbornness, Michelangelo often clashed with patrons and rivals, including Leonardo da Vinci and Raphael. His correspondence reveals a complex and passionate character. Michelangelo's later works, such as The Last Judgment, on the Sistine Chapel altar wall, reflect a profound sense of faith and existential contemplation. He often infused his art with religious intensity. Michelangelo wrote over 300 poems, exploring themes of love, mortality, and spirituality. Michelangelo was notorious for abandoning projects, often due to his perfectionism or shifting priorities. His unfinished prisoners' sculptures offer insight into his creative process. In his later years, Michelangelo became the chief architect of St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. The iconic dome, completed after his death, remains a defining feature of the Roman skyline. Michelangelo's masterpieces span sculpture, painting, and architecture, showcasing his unparalleled talent and innovation. Below is a list of his most celebrated works. Pietà, 1498–1499. Location, St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican City. Description: this marble masterpiece depicts the Virgin Mary holding the lifeless body of Christ. Renowned for its emotional depth and exquisite detail, it is the only work Michelangelo ever signed. David, 1501–1504. Location, Galleria dell'Accademia, Florence. Description: standing at over 17 feet tall, this marble statue captures the biblical hero David poised before his battle with Goliath. It is a symbol of Florentine independence and human potential. Moses, 1513–1515. Location, San Pietro in Vincoli, Rome. Description: created for Pope Julius II's tomb, this powerful marble figure is depicted with a commanding presence and famously detailed anatomy, including horns inspired by a mistranslation of the Bible. The Dying Slave and the Rebellious Slave, 1513–1516. Location, Louvre Museum, Paris. Description: these unfinished marble statues were part of the design for Julius II's tomb. They represent human struggle and liberation. The Rondinini Pietà, 1552–1564. Location, Castello Sforzesco, Milan. Description: an unfinished sculpture created in the final years of Michelangelo's life. It portrays a delicate, almost ethereal depiction of Mary and Christ. Sistine Chapel ceiling, 1508–1512. Location, Vatican City. Description: a monumental fresco covering over 5,000 square feet. It depicts 9 central stories from the Book of Genesis, including the creation of Adam, one of the most iconic images in Western art. The Last Judgment, 1536–1541. Location, altar wall of the Sistine Chapel, Vatican City. Description: this dramatic fresco portrays the second coming of Christ and the final judgment of souls. The dynamic composition and muscular figures reflect Michelangelo's vision of divine justice. St. Peter's Basilica Dome, 1546–1564. Location: Vatican City. Description: Michelangelo was the chief architect of the basilica. His design for the dome, completed after his death, is one of the most recognizable features of Renaissance architecture. Laurentian Library, 1524–1534. Location: Florence. Description: commissioned by the Medici family, the library features a groundbreaking design, including its famous staircase, which blends functionality with artistic innovation. Piazza del Campidoglio, 1536–1546. Location: Rome. Description: Michelangelo redesigned the Capitoline Hill, creating a harmonious and symbolic urban space. His vision elevated the importance of civic architecture. Other significant works: Dadi Tondo, 1504–1505, a circular relief depicting the Virgin Mary, Child Jesus, and Saint John the Baptist, showcasing Michelangelo's skill in low relief. Brutus, circa 1540, a marble bust, considered one of the few portraits attributed to Michelangelo, possibly symbolizing Republican ideals. Battle of the Centaurs, 1492, an early marble relief that displays Michelangelo's burgeoning mastery of anatomy and dynamic composition. Madonna of the Stairs, 1489–1492. Bacchus, 1496–1497. Tondo Doni, Holy Family, 1506–1508. The Deposition, Florentine Pietà, 1547–1555. The Genius of Victory, 1532–1534, Palazzo Vecchio, Florence. Medici Chapel, New Sacristy, 1519–1534, San Lorenzo, Florence. Study for the Libyan Sibyl, a preparatory sketch for the Sistine Chapel. The Epiphania Cartoon, a design for a never-completed painting. Michelangelo's influence on art and culture is immeasurable. His works continue to be studied, admired, and revered, making him a central figure in the history of Western art.